Hello everyone and welcome to Best Side Cycling. Today is a fantastic day in Seattle as the new waterfront bike lanes are finally open. At least some of them are. So join me in a tour of what's available today in what I truly believe very soon will become the most biked area in all of the city. Today I'm here at the Seattle Waterfront and a bunch of new bike lanes just opened here. They have been highly anticipated. Unfortunately, it's not the full opening as it's just from Yesler Way basically to Union Street in terms of the new stuff, but hopefully a lot more to come. So I'm going to show it to you now as we go ride it on my Brompton. So we're going to start at the south end here closer towards Yesler Way, and these are really a continuation of the existing bike lanes next to Alaskan Way South that head towards West Seattle. And it is a really neat cycle track here as ahead of us we have this new artwork created by Oscar Toison based off of the traditional longhouse architecture. As well as I noticed some specific lighting here to the left and right that will definitely help with our early nights in the Pacific Northwest. So something that's going to come up a lot in this corridor are these different signals. They're going to be relying on bicycle detectors and can be coordinating between vehicle or pedestrian traffic that you'll see ahead. This one was probably the most awkwardly timed as it's probably highly dependent on when the ferry arrivals are. So overall I saw a lot of people sort of jaywalking and just blasting through this light. Definitely pay a heads up here. After waiting for that full light, we're going to continue. And what I'm going to bring up now is what's been brought up a lot during the design and construction process, which is this planter box to the right. Its railing is just a lot lower and looks very, very sharp. Along with the curves that we're riding along here, it seemed, at least from a distance, to be a recipe for trouble. So here's another perspective for you to get a sense of how wide these lanes are. In terms of cycle tracks around here, these really aren't too bad, even with the curves. Definitely designed for slower speeds, but definitely manageable. So up here we see to the right a bike box and an accompanying right turn signal, which is pretty rare, which leads you to Spring Street that has bike lanes that can bring you all the way to First Hill. And as we continue here, there's going to be an increased amount of signals and crossings as we get to the busier parts of the waterfront towards the Ferris wheel and aquarium, so definitely have a heads up. I did find it a bit strange that the signals were placed so high up in the air. I would say generally they seem pretty well timed to let you have a green wave, but that doesn't mean too much because expect pedestrians in the crossings and in the bike lanes, so you're just always gonna have to sort of take it easy. One interesting thing I'll point out here is that structure towards our left is going to be the new public restroom, so it's neat to finally have this type of amenity in such a popular space. And up ahead is Union Street, so that's basically where the current new bike lanes go up to right now, and you'll see a detour sign leading you into the pedestrian area, which as you turn you'll see this awesome jellyfish sculpture, which actually is gonna do double duty as a playground as well, so I think that's super awesome. And then there's the new overlook walk ahead of you with the aquarium pavilion. So as you go straight here, you will be able to turn right and then connect back onto the cycle track. So at this point, I just want to mention that you've been enjoying this video so far and want to see more updates like it. I'd really appreciate if you just roll over the like button and subscribe. And if you really want to thank me, I've also added a buy me coffee link, as contrary to popular belief, I actually don't make any money from this channel and probably lose some. But anyway, I came over here to show you how these new lanes connect over towards Yesler Way. So you'll see here sort of towards the right, actually pretty sneakily, they've actually opened the westbound bike lanes as well that run off street and goes towards Belltown. So there's this nice bike detector on the ground there, as well as a way for you to connect to the other side of the road. But what's upcoming is super exciting is this actual cycle track that runs next to the overlook walk that's super enclosed, as well as following that the safety project that's going to build out protected bike lanes along Alaskan Way towards Olympic Sculpture Park. So when all of this open, I feel really hard pressed to believe that this wouldn't be the most popular biking destination in our city, connected with the Elliott Bay Trail. So I wanted to circle back here and give some of my overall thoughts. So this design, I think, has pretty much been locked in for almost a decade. I really wish that there was less car lanes and more space given to bikes, but given what's sort of here, I think it's actually quite fine. There are curves and things, but the main thing that will sort of make this area hard to ride through is all the mixing of bikes and pedestrians. Theoretically, if everyone followed the signals that was given ahead of them and didn't go into the crosswalk section until then it would be fine, but we all know that's not going to happen. And I think realistically, everyone's just gonna have to, just be looking out for each other, ride slow, and so on and so forth. So I don't know design-wise how you really avoid that, because this area is just going to be filled with tourists, people that are new to the city that hasn't seen this before. But this is still an awesome public amenity, as it lets you access all these new things on the waterfront that has been built over the past few years as they revitalize this whole area. And some of the most scenic riding you'll be able to do basically all near downtown, and it's flat, which is a rarity for us. So I'm really looking forward to when this all comes together. We're going to be hosting a huge ride to celebrate it when it comes up, so be on the lookout for that. It's going to be a good time, as it's really significant, I think, what this means, having it connect all the way from Olympic Sculpture Park to the Elliott Bay Trail to the south, as basically there's going to be finally what I feel is a pleasant option riding through downtown for tourists and whatnot, especially since this is flat, it's scenic, and overall I'd say the traffic stress is a lot lower here than maybe on 2nd or 4th Avenue, where you still have to work with cars a lot. But yeah, I want to hear your thoughts in terms of this design. Would you ride it, or what would you change with the current spacing? Do you think the curves and the railing is a huge issue? And what's your experience so far been with riding through this corridor with the pedestrians? And with that, we've basically made it back to the Seattle Ferry Terminal and almost to our starting point at Yesler Way. Quick call out there, as Yesler Way is definitely one of the main sort of turning points, is that I think they're going to be working on some improvements up to 2nd Avenue, so look forward to that, because right now it is still a little awkward for a couple blocks. But yeah, that's all I had for this video, so I'll see you all in the next one.